Last year, Franklin Roy Bruno defied the odds to become heavyweight champion of the world.
I've achieved my dream. I'm not going to give it up that easy.
Now, a new date with destiny.
He's Mike Tyson, he's got that sort of like aura around him.
7 years between fights.
I rocked him off, lifted him off his feet.
He just hit me with a hard punch.
And a lot has changed.
I'm the champion, and I've seen myself spectacularly knock him out.
I have to beat him. There's a choice but to beat him.
I refuse to be beaten.
Live from Las Vegas in the early hours of Sunday morning on March the 17th, a fight to make British sporting history.
There's no way he's going to beat me. No way. No way. No way.
Sky subscribers can see the big fight by ordering now on 0990 800 800. That's 0990 800 800. Book now and receive a £5 discount. Cable viewers order through your local operator.
This is Bambi. We got you a target.
In the armed forces, there's no room for error.
I shouldn't have been here, sir. 7 Marines lying in a hospital. Is that all you got to say?
Or rivalry in the ranks.
Who started it? I did, sir.
And nothing stands in the way of an investigation.
Don't you even think about blaming this on me, Jay.
So you can't prove that Jay did it?
My man,
And this is my investigation. We're in a free fire zone!
JAG, 8 o'clock Tuesday on Sky One Primetime.
This is Sky Sports, part of the Sky Television Network.
A thirst for action.
The title race blown wide open as Cantona gets the winner for United.
Hitting back, Richardson leads the West Indies to World Cup victory over Australia.
And will he or won't he, Nigel Benn looks likely to ignore retirement advice.
In the Sports Centre, Dominic Hollier and David Bobin.
Good evening. If you're anywhere near a Manchester United fan, you'll know by the smile it's been their night tonight. More on their big result at St James's Park in just a moment.
We also hear from Nottingham Forest ahead of their UEFA Cup quarter-final, and we've got the latest on Nigel Benn's future.
First to confirmation of the result at St James's Park. You may have seen it on Sky Sports a little earlier. It means that Manchester United are now the 6-5 favourites to win the Premiership title. Newcastle have slipped back from 7-4 on to 11-8 against. Newcastle have lost their 100% home record in the league. The all-important decisive goal scored there by Eric Cantona.
So this is the top of the table now, and Newcastle's lead just 1 point. Manchester United just a point behind, but Newcastle do have a game in hand. Liverpool 5 points adrift in third place.
2 games in the conference tonight. Hensford 1, Kettering 0. Stevenage 3, Dover 2. Stevenage now 3 points clear with a game in hand at the top. Hensford go third.
Abroad now, more than 20 Nottingham Forest fans have been arrested in Germany after fighting in bars in Munich and attacking shoppers in the city centre. They're being detained by police until after tomorrow night's UEFA Cup quarter-final against Bayern Munich. The Forest team have flown out for the game with their confidence lifted by a welcome return to form in the Premiership. This report comes from Ian Bolton.
There weren't any takers among the modern-day men from the Forest for Robin Hood hats. But while Robin Hood stole from the rich to give to the poor, Frank Clark's Merry Men, the only British team in Europe, will help themselves to whatever they can get against Bayern Munich.
It's a tough challenge, there's no doubt about that. You know, they've got a team of 11 internationals. They've just gone top of the German league.
Forest have shown improvement in their form too. Victory at Sheffield Wednesday at the weekend, coming after the FA Cup draw against Spurs. A timely lift.
We're in a lot better heart than we were 7 days ago. We've had 2 excellent performances in our last 2 games. The players responded to the criticism that they got from me and other people after the Everton game, where we gave a very poor performance. And against Tottenham and Sheffield Wednesday, we've played more like we can play, and I think that's given everybody a lift, obviously.
Andrea Silenzi, Forest's Italian striker, has a virus and didn't travel, but Stuart Pearce, the club's inspirational captain, was in the party despite missing the last 6 weeks with a calf injury. He's not played since the defeat at Chelsea in January, but he believes he's now close to a return. His inclusion would be a further bonus for the team facing their toughest European match yet.
I'm desperate to play, but I want to play in the first game that my injury allows me to play in. I'm reasonably close. At the moment, I'm training the last couple of days, and basically it's a bit of fitness, really, and a bit of stiffness in my leg that's holding me back at the moment. It's the only doubt I've got.
It will be a gamble to play him because he hasn't played any football for 6 or 7 weeks. But if he's confident that the injury is totally cleared up, then, you know, we'll have to look at that.
Well, this is the flight deck on the plane taking Nottingham Forest to Munich. Their footballing route has been via Malmö in Sweden, Auxerre and Lyon in France, but their route on this plane is a little more direct.
Once we get towards Dover, we'll be going out across the English Channel towards Ostend in Belgium, and then routing in towards Stuttgart, north of Stuttgart actually, towards Munich.
And Forest hope to return with more than duty-frees for the home leg. Ian Bolton, Sky Sports, East Midlands Airport.
UEFA have officially confirmed the end of the current transfer system. They had until today to abolish it or face possible fines from the European Court. In December, after legal action by Belgian player Jean-Marc Bosman, the court ruled that transfer fees on out-of-contract players within the EC and limits on foreign players were illegal. The ruling won't affect transfers within the United Kingdom.
A man has appeared at Edinburgh Sheriff Court charged with assault and breach of the peace after an incident involving the Rangers goalkeeper Andy Gorham during yesterday's Premier Division match with Hibs. It happened shortly after Rangers had taken a 2-0 lead. Gorham, who required treatment to a cut face, recovered and he was able to finish the match.
Liverpool midfielder Paul Stewart is expected to complete a free transfer to First Division Sunderland. Stewart joined Liverpool from Spurs 3.5 years ago for £2.3 million, but he hasn't played in Liverpool's first team since November 1993. Now 31, Stewart was on loan at Roker Park earlier in the season.
The Arsenal manager Bruce Rioch has confirmed that midfielder John Jensen could be returning to his former club Brøndby on a free transfer. The Danish international, who joined Arsenal in 1992, has been unable to command a first-team place at Highbury recently. Manager Rioch has agreed in principle to the move.
In cricket, the West Indies have restored a bit of pride after last week's humiliating defeat by Kenya in cricket's World Cup. They beat Australia by 4 wickets in Jaipur, and that means they're almost certain to reach the quarter-finals. Ricky Ponting hit a century for the Australians, but the total always looked a little on the low side. Richie Richardson's been under intense pressure, but he responded with an unbeaten 93 to see his side home in the penultimate over. You can see the highlights of the whole match immediately after the Sports Centre. The West Indies can still be overhauled in their group on run rate, but only if Kenya beat Sri Lanka and make a huge score whilst doing so.
Mark Ramprakash will be flying out to India as a replacement for the injured Neil Fairbrother. On this winter's tour of South Africa, Ramprakash scored just 13 runs in 3 Test match innings, although he did make respectable scores in the 2 one-day internationals. Neil Fairbrother's hamstring injury, sustained during England's defeat by Pakistan, has forced Illingworth to call up a replacement.
Nigel Benn's manager is urging the former world champion to stick by his decision to retire, but he believes Ben won't and will fight one more time. Jackie Levy has more.
I'm not going to make up any excuse, but now it's time to call it a day.
These were the scenes after Nigel Benn's defeat in Newcastle on Saturday. But it didn't take the Dark Destroyer long to have second thoughts about his emotional announcement. Even though Benn's possible retirement U-turn dominates the sports pages, promoter Frank Warren is urging his man to take his time before making a decision about his future.
He may even know now what he wants to do, but it's not a question of anybody pushing him towards a decision. You know, he's got all the time in the world. Go and, as I say, go and chill out, have a nice relax on the beach and see how he feels. If he wants to go on, then great. If he doesn't, that's great as well. Enjoy his retirement, enjoy his money.
Is this the last minute of Nigel Benn's long, long reign as the WBC super middleweight champion?
Manager Pete de Freitas believes if Ben had stuck to the game plan, retirement wouldn't be an issue. He says the champion tried to go for the knockout to please the crowd, and that cost him the fight. He wants Ben to stick by his original decision, but says the boxer is now 60-40 in favour of a return to the ring.
He called me on Saturday night into the room, and he said, Pete, I'm not shot. I'm not ready to retire. He said, I've still got something to offer. I know I have. If I felt I'd boxing beaten out of me tonight, I'd have retired. I said, but I don't feel that I have had it bashed out of me. You know, I said things in the ring which was a bit, you know, close to the time maybe. Shouldn't have said, but he said I've had time to rethink.
The rethink, according to de Freitas, means one more fight if that's what Ben wants, and he's already setting the wheels in motion.
I'm flying to Cork on Saturday morning. I'm going to see Steve Collins fight, and hopefully we can have a chat and see what, get it on.
Ironically, making plans for Nigel is the slogan on every poster and ticket for Steve Collins' world title defence at the weekend. Nigel Benn may be now replanning his future, but the signs are he will yet step into the ring with the winner of this fight. Jackie Levy, Sky Sports, Hertfordshire.
So plenty of boxing coming up on Sky Sports. On Saturday, Steve Collins against Neville Brown for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship. A week later, Prince Nassim Hamed against Saeed Lawal, and Joe Bugner versus Scott Welsh. Then on Sunday, March the 17th, it's the big one. Bruno against Tyson in the early hours of the morning. For more information on how to see that fight, call 0990 10 20 30 or see your Sky TV guide.
England rugby manager Jack Rowell says he'll be at the side of prop forward Jason Leonard when he appears before a Five Nations disciplinary hearing on Wednesday. Leonard has been accused by the Scots of throwing a punch in the Calcutta Cup match, which England won 18-9 on Saturday.
Plenty of sporting action still ahead on Sky Sports tonight. Here's a little look at it for you. Cricket, World Cup, Australia against West Indies. Highlights coming up directly after us. Another chance to see Monday Night Football at 12:30. Tartan Extra follows that, and more cricket live this time at 3:45. Over on Sky Sports Gold, Bobby Charlton's opening up his football scrapbook with Johnny Giles, and at midnight, classic Grand Nationals.